Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Chorus. Today we're going to be working on the XR100 engine that was smoking like a freight train. First thing I'm going to do is clean it up, get that chain off that I had an issue with because the master link is welded, and then start tearing it down and see what's inside of it. Got a new cheap GoPro knockoff I'm going to try to take some time lapse with. That way maybe you can see my hands a little bit better. I got this goofy chest mount on right now. See how it works. Okay, so got most of the case and the cylinder and the valve cover cleaned up. It's still pretty dirty down there by that old chain. The skid plate was pretty nasty. I tried out that chest mount on the time lapse and the video turned out pretty bouncy, so oops. I might keep it on though, or I might switch back to my phone for the actual disassembly of the top end of the engine to see what's going on. This thing was pretty dirty, mostly because no one ever washed it, and secondly, and probably even more importantly, when I was running it there, when I first got it, I noticed that oil was actually dripping out of the head, right at the pipe at the flange. I was watching it drip down into the skid plate. So the whole front of it, especially down in there, is just covered in filth. I got most of it off. I'll probably end up taking that skid plate off and probably painting it anyways. It's been rubbed pretty good. Bike was definitely thrashed and someone had some good times on it. Anyways, gonna continue with disassembly. Switching over to my phone here, so I have the flash so I can show you guys a couple of things that I found tearing this thing down. Teardown took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I fought the timing sprocket in the head. There's two bolts that hold it on. One was chrome plated and the other one was black, like oxide plated, which makes me wonder, one, that's probably not the right bolt, and two, someone's been in this before, which isn't surprising. That's fine. Haven't really taken a look at the valve seals yet. Probably gonna go ahead and order some just because I'm already in this deep. But looking at the piston, if I can get it to focus, that's not good. So piston's all scored up. The piston looks worse than the cylinder wall, but with these it seems like parts for them, you can see in there, it's not ultra good, but parts for these, usually just buy a top end kit, because buying a OEM piston is almost as much as the entire top end kit. I know BBR makes a nice kit, bump it up to 120 cc's for a little extra kick. Might be doing that. I had to take the side cover off to hold the engine in place. It is packed full of dirt. Looks like it's never been washed in its life. Front sprocket is fairly toast, which is fine because that chain's toast anyway, so I was going to go ahead and change that in the rear sprocket while I was at it. So getting a parts list together, probably getting at least a top end kit, maybe go big bore, sprockets, chain, everything else looks good, so time to clean up. Guess I could have added a little bit about the head too. The camshaft Looks like it's seen better days. That also comes with the BBR kit, so that's one more reason just to go with that kit. The rest of the head looks fine. Obviously going to need cam bearing there if we go that route. The bottom of the head, I don't see any major issues other than it's oily. The valves don't look to be chipped or like anything went real sideways inside. They're obviously a really oily spark plug because guessing it's getting past the rings and also the cylinder wall and just causing mayhem. Hard to tell how long someone ran it like that. Probably run like that for a while, but take care of it now. Today we're going to continue working on the XR100. We got some tires that need to be put on. We got a rear sprocket that needs to be put on. We got some polishing that needs done. A couple concerns that I have. One, I didn't buy rim strips because I never buy them. Probably use electrical tape. Budget build, remember. And I also have a concern about a couple of these sprocket bolts. Looks like someone went at it like a angry one-tooth beaver. So we'll see if I can get those undone, get some tires swapped over. Okay, so a couple of my fears did come true. Those 4 bolts that hold the sprocket on, 3 of them did strip out on me and are pretty much trash now. They had 2 different size nuts on the back. 2 of them were locking, 2 of them weren't. Just a total, yeah, what a mess. And then I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this thing's pretty greasy. I should probably clean it up. So I'll take it over to the hot seat and blast the grease off. And as I started to blast the grease off, I noticed the grease was coming off in flakes, which means someone just decided to spray paint this rim. The spokes are half painted, so that also tells me that they didn't take the tire off, because on the other side of the tire that you can't see right here, there is that gray primer that was on the frame. So it was just spray bombed, not taken care of at all. Matches the rest of the bike. Trying to fix all that now. So got a little bit more work on my hands than I thought with these tires. And by the way, I'm only putting a new rear tire on. The front tire's in okay shape, trying to keep the cost down a little bit. It does need a new tube. The rear needs a new tire. I got a new tube for it because the tubes are so cheap. So that's where I'm at. And now I just got to keep working. The rear tire and rim is finished up besides the sprocket. You may notice that some of these spokes are a little dingy still. Pretty hard to get in there with the rag and polish. Some of them probably need steel wool anyways. But for the most part, the rim's fairly shiny. Tires look nice, good beefy. These are the cheap Tusk. What are they? Yeah, the EMEX T35s. So this is their soft intermediate compound. Hoping that it has a little bit of traction with me on it. My weight should help that traction issue. And hopefully the big bore kit that I bought for it, wink wink, is going to be even better for it. So on to the front. both tires finished up. You may have noticed I didn't take as long on the front rim cleaning up and polishing as I did on the rear. I didn't even wash it. It didn't have any spray paint on it. It was already pretty shiny. I didn't want to shine it up too much and it not match the rear. The rear is definitely in worse condition than the front. They look pretty similar now, so I'm okay with it. The front tire is a couple years old, but it's still got plenty of meat on it, and it should do just fine. Trying to keep the cost down once again. This is supposed to be a budget build. For whatever that's worth, there's really no such thing when you're messing with motorcycles or dirt bikes. They all cost money. Anyways, I got some progress done today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.